We'll see. Oh, yeah. Um, Gotta say, I'm a little surprised by the North Texas South Florida game. That's a little wild going on.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Especially like leading into this game, and they were talking so highly on this quarterback here from North Texas, being a freshman. He hasn't thrown an interception this season leading up to this game. I mean, he threw a 67.9%. He has a 67.9% completion rating, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, no picks. But for some reason, he's just playing absolutely horrible this game, um, to say the least. So I think it's crazy that we're seeing this out of them. I mean, I like South Florida in this matchup anyway, going into it. It's been very entertaining. There's been a lot of turnovers back and forth. No one wants to keep the ball, it seems.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that this game has so many turnovers already is just crazy. Like 8 turnovers. I mean, dude, the stat line is crazy though because if you look like the penalties, I mean, there's not been very many penalties. The first downs are right on cue. The yards are like there's 7 yards separating both of these teams, which is
Yeah, yeah,
crazy to think about. Honestly, like if you have 7 yards separating, that's I mean that you cannot get too. I mean, North Texas must have a heck of a football team, dude.
yeah. I mean, they're undefeated up to this point. Definitely super entertaining. I mean, and they had the two fumbles. In the two fumbles, three picks. South Florida has one pick and two fumbles. So I mean, it's wild to see this.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta say, I'm a little surprised what's going on over in Washington as well.
Yeah,
Just
that's
just
another one on
given
me too.
yeah, just given like the nature of Washington's environment, I guess. Like I feel like that's a pretty. I mean, I know Washington's not like Clemson or LSU or anything, but still kind of a hard place to play sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we watched Ohio State go in there, and for the beginning of the game, it looked like they, I don't really want to say struggled, but just didn't execute. And I feel like
Yeah,
that environment had a lot to do with it there at the start of that game. And obviously they executed once the game got moving and stuff. It was just a slow start.
yeah.
Um,
Just like yeah,
yeah,
I know what you mean. The way they could have.
correct, correct. That one's a lot, a lot cleaner of a game as far as turnovers. That Rutgers Washington game, there hasn't been a turnover yet in that game. Um, I'm honestly kind of the quarterback play too for Washington. He's 3 for 7 right now with 53 yards and a touchdown. Um, their running back is 5 carries, 62 yards, no touchdowns. But overall, I mean, I think this Washington team's playing decent. I think they have a chance here to beat Rutgers. I'm not sure if they will, but I would hope.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I I think that they no, I yeah. So, sorry.
You're good, dude. Another touchdown.
I just got a funny text. Uh no. Yeah, no, I think that holy crap, dude, South Florida scored again.
That's why I said another South Florida touchdown.
Man, bro.
It's wild this time through the air. It was a nice pass.
Yeah, I seen that slinging it.
Yeah.
I wonder what the over. Can you see what the betting line on that game was?
Let me look here.
I don't know if you
See if I can
can
figure it
if you
out.
can look now, but
I can imagine it's definitely hit the over by now at this
oh yeah,
point.
dude, it had to have.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Yeah, it doesn't tell me the odds now on ESPN, that is.
Still, I mean that's crazy though. Like between these
Yeah.
because eh, I don't know. I definitely want to bet on the over. But yeah, we can move into Saturday.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Before we do that, who do you think's going to win between? Obviously, I think we know who's going to win between South Florida and North Texas. It's starting to get a little out of hand. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I definitely, yeah, South Florida, I think, is definitely taking control of that game.
I
Um,
I still think Washington's going to come back and beat Rutgers, but
I
I
I
don't know.
definitely feel the same way. I mean, Rutgers is currently moving the ball down the field. They are inside the red zone right now as we speak. I don't know if Washington. That's something I think we should revisit here before the night's over. I'm sure.
Yeah, let me pull that game up actually on my phone just so I can sit here and watch it because oh, they're like really getting ready to score, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah.
Yes, they're 100%. I shouldn't say 100%, but for sure gonna get three probably at least.
I would, yeah, yeah. They're in position to get three at minimum.
Um, wait, whoa, what just happened there? What's the celebration going on for? Was that a pick? I don't know what just happened there, but
Uh,
I just clicked it on. I seen celebration going on. So what happened here? Was that a Oh, it was a fumble. We stripped it. Never mind. They didn't get
Wow,
anything. They didn't get anything out of that.
wow, that's crazy. That's
That is
crazy.
crazy. That just goes to show you that maybe maybe you aren't always entitled to points.
Yeah, maybe not.
But yeah, no, we can dive into the Saturday slates here. So we Ohio State, Illinois. I think I'll just give my brief analysis on this real quick. I think that Ohio State is going to come out and make everyone just if anyone had any doubts, I think they're going to close those doubts tomorrow. I know it's a noon game and it's kind of like one of those games where the first half could be like 10-3 at the half, but dude, given what I've seen with Illinois and Indiana, like there is a noticeable difference between like a team like Ohio State and a team like Illinois. I mean, if you have I put Indiana in the middle there, if Indiana can come out and drop that many points on Illinois, I mean with you put Ohio State's defense in there, I mean, what's Ohio
Yeah,
gonna do?
correct. Yeah. Now I know Ryan Day spoke earlier this week at a press conference and was saying that he's not using that film from the Indiana game at all. I
Well,
would
yeah, and
think
I,
that
I agree.
I would think that maybe they would look at it a little bit. No, I don't know. I'm not a coach by any
Yeah,
means, but
he might just be saying that too. I mean, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
correct. Now I definitely I think it's going to be entertaining to watch. I don't know how Illinois is going to really play. So I guess we're gonna find out a lot. Ohio State has a lot of weapons. I just don't know if Illinois is going to be able to keep up with this one.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I just don't think that Illinois has like the personnel to really compete long term with a team like Ohio. Like
Correct.
I can see them lingering around, like I said, the first half because it is a noon game. It's on the road. Like Ohio's
Hmm.
notorious for having a score at the bottom of the screen. Like you'll be sitting there watching the game and like say you're not watching that game or say you're doing something outside or whatever and you check in and you're like 10-3 at half. Like what the heck? And then
Yeah.
you'll like go to watch it or go to click on it like an hour later and it ended like 45-10 and you're like oh okay
Yeah.
like you know what I mean they always kind of tease with those scores in the beginning. I can
Hmm.
remember Ohio State and Indiana numerous years. I feel like that game always starts out like 10-0
Yeah.
for like until halftime, and then halftime hits, and then in years past, obviously Indiana is a lot better of a team this year than what they've been, but um,
Hmm.
in years past it would be like 10-0 at halftime, and then you'd click on that game. I don't know at the end of you look at the score in the morning or something the next day if it was on Friday or if it was on Saturday, you'd look at it hours later and it'd end like 56-0, and you're like, holy
Yeah.
crap, what happened in the second half?
Yeah. It just seems like they really are great at making the adjustments at halftime.
Turn it up.
Yeah, and just coming out and just really balling out. So I definitely think it's something to keep. I mean, this is going to be a game I feel like you should watch, at least keep an eye on, because
Oh
you never
yeah,
know.
no
But
doubt.
I really don't think that Illinois is is going to be able to keep up.
So
Not saying
here's
they can't. I just think it's very unlikely.
so here's a question. We obviously think that Illinois. I mean, at least I do. I'm assuming you do. Illinois is a better team than Minnesota.
Hmm.
Honestly, I don't think that Texas is that great of a team.
No.
Obviously, we've seen what happened with Florida, so we'll just toss them aside. It's first game of the season. We'll toss that game aside. Ohio State, is this like like are we gonna see Julian saying kind of his real self a little bit in this game? Like, because this is like gonna be his hardest opponent since week one. So are we gonna see
Yeah.
any? You know what I mean? Are we gonna see any mistakes you think from him, or is it just gonna be smooth sailing?
I definitely think it's possible. He is currently the most accurate quarterback in college football. With that being
Yeah, I
said,
seen that.
he's not immune to throwing interceptions. He does have 3 picks on the year. Um, I think as long as everything goes smoothly, I think we could definitely see him really take another step forward, just as far as the leadership and everything with this team and really taking control. I think he definitely has the weapons to do it, and he has the confidence. He has the wide receivers to do it. So I don't think that we're gonna see many mistakes, if any, from him this game, from him that game. I think he's gonna really show what he's made of in this Illinois game as far as just himself. I think we're going to see him develop more and more just as the year goes on, and I think this is another great game for him to just lean into that.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I, I think that he'll come out, and I mean, the only thing that worries me a little bit is I feel like with that Ohio State game, they haven't really. I'm sure they kept him. I mean, he's a sophomore, but that was his first actual start, you know. So
Yes, yes.
obviously they kept like a safety net on him. They didn't really let him just kind
Mhm.
of unleash himself. And I'm sure they let him kind of unleash himself a little bit against the next few cupcakes that they played. But this will be the first like team of like substance to some degree that they're gonna unleash him a little bit. I feel like
Yeah.
so it'll be just interesting to see how he reacts to a defense that has a pulse. Um, as compared to, but I say that, and then I go back to Indiana dropping the amount of points they did on Illinois. So I don't know. I know Illinois was pretty banged up in that Indiana game. So it's I mean I don't know if I don't follow Illinois football too much. I don't know if how many pieces of the puzzle they got back, but I know in that game against Indiana they were hurting bad on the
Yeah.
defensive side of the football, and it showed. So yeah. UCLA and Michigan State. Um, Here's the big question: does Nico keep riding that big wave, or not? Or do you
So
think that Michigan State kind of tells him that hey, that was a one week thing?
I don't know if it was a 1 week thing. I think it was confidence that Nico really needed to get what he received in that game against Penn State. Uh, if he comes out and plays as well as he did, or if Michigan State's defensive coordinator coaches as bad of a defensive game as Penn State's did, I definitely think that they have a chance. Now, I still leading Michigan State in this game just because of what we've seen out of UCLA. We don't
Yeah.
know.
Har- is this
I,
game is this game home or away? I don't know if this is a home or game or not for
um,
Michigan. Let me look it up.
this is a
Away.
yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna for sure lean Michigan State, just because like you said,
Yeah.
like they lost to UNLV, they lost to New Mexico. Like this is not a good UCLA team. And to be fair, if Penn State, like I know they put a spy on Nico. It obviously didn't really do anything. They didn't like
No.
if you take Nico out of that game, UCLA loses that game. Like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
he
Yes.
was the difference. I guess if I was Penn State, I would have made Nico beat me with his arm and not his legs. Like I understand it's hard to keep a quarterback under wraps like that, and I understand that that's the second half. Penn State came out, and I'm sure their game plan was to keep Nico contained. Like James Franklin's not an idiot. I mean, I'm sure they went in there and were like, hey, we need to do something about this guy. They just didn't. So if Michigan State can, there goes UCLA's entire offense. I mean, this team scored 57 points total up until Penn State, and then they dropped 42 against Penn State. So
Yeah.
if if they can just contain Nico, then they contain the UCLA offense. There's no way he's gonna beat him with his arm, dude. We seen what UCLA could do with Nico under wraps up until Penn State, and it was terrible. So there's a reason why
Yeah.
they were winless. So you know what I mean?
hmm I mean, and I also think it's another great opportunity for these interim coaches at UCLA, just to really get their names out there, show them. I mean, if they can pull together some wins here and stuff, they can definitely showing that they have a future in coaching. They have great opportunity. I mean, Nico's a good guy to build around as far as trying to prove yourself in the Big Ten. They don't have the most brutal schedule, so I definitely feel like they have some opportunities to win some games. And Penn State was a big one to win. Now the drop in the game there before Northwestern was kind of crazy. Um, or dropping a win there before
I know what you mean. Yeah, I
Penn
got you.
State. Yeah,
Yeah, that was. I don't think
losing there to
anyone.
Northwestern's wild.
I I don't know. I think Michigan State is a team that can compete. I think they're gonna beat UCLA. It's home.
Yeah,
It is a noon slot, so it's one of those games where I would not be surprised if it went either way. I don't think it'll be high scoring. Like I think this game's gonna end like 17 to 10 or 24 to 17 or something like that. I don't think it's gonna be like the Penn State game because I think that one, I don't think Michigan State has the offense, and UCLA I don't think has the offense if you take away Nico. So Michigan State's entire game plan is going to be to contain Nico. So if they can do that, I think this goes from you take the Penn State score and just go ahead and just slice it right in half right from the get go.
yeah, yeah.
Just personally, I do want to go off topic real quick and just make a note that Colorado State is beating Fresno in the second quarter right now, 35-7.
Yeah, I took a glimpse at that myself, and
Dude,
it's
that's crazy, dude.
kind of astonishing there. I mean, they're really just coming out and playing great. Now, I haven't watched any of that game, so I really don't know
No,
if
either have I,
Fresno's just
but
throwing the ball away or what. Um, but I mean, the Fresno's 5-1, Colorado State's 1-4. I don't know.
exactly, dude. That's what I was saying. Like Fresno's not. I mean, they've been kind of like just sneaking by, but they're not.
hmm
Hey, their record is their record. Obviously,
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. 35 in the second quarter. Like, I want to look at that real quick. Does Fresno have like a boatload of turnovers? Is that what's going on? It has to be.
I, I don't know. Yeah, let's
No, I
take
mean
a look.
they've two turnovers, but two turnovers. Dude, for the score to be 35-7 on that game, the stat line
Yeah.
is really not that drastic. Like they have more. Fresno has more time of possession than Colorado State. They have two turnovers, so I get it. There's two turnovers,
Bro.
but the total yards is like pretty close. Like for that game to be 35-7, dude, that's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado State's quarterback is 8 for 12, 92 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so he must be throwing the football from like the 20-yard line every single time for a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know if the special teams is balling out there and just really getting them, great field positioning. If their defense is, I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know.
that's crazy for him to have 3 touchdowns for 92 yards. They do have a rushing touchdown. One of their running backs has 88 yards rushing already.
Yeah, I see that right now. His rushing touchdown was a
Yeah,
73-yard touchdown run.
yeah. So that was a
So,
big one there.
but yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, I think that Michigan State is gonna cancel UCLA's little momentum
Yeah,
going
and
on there.
if you look at Michigan State's losses too, it really hasn't been anything crazy. Like they haven't gotten absolutely blown out by
No,
anybody.
yeah, exactly, and
I
that's
mean they've lost, but like they were in that USC game. It was 45-31. The Nebraska game was 38-27. Now that 45-31, I don't know that game might have been like some garbage time, like a garbage time touchdown for Michigan State or something. I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were down 24-45 there with 2:57 left in the fourth, and then or 2:39 left in the fourth before they scored their touchdown there.
Yeah, so I don't think that they're gonna like Michigan State's been in a lot of the games they've played this year, so I don't think that
Yeah.
it's gonna be anything crazy. Um, Florida State and Pitt, I won't talk about this one because I don't I really don't have that much faith that Florida State is gonna rebound. I mean,
I,
listen, we seen this team compete, but I think they're right on the tipping point of their season kind of spiraling. If they lose against Pitt, it's going to take Mike Norvell. I mean, he had the biggest win of his career at Florida State week 1 against Alabama. If he
yeah,
loses this game against Pitt, now he's like back on the tipping point of getting rid of him, like moving
correct,
on. You know what I
correct.
mean? Like it
I
really
will say
turned around the wrong way for him.
on the side of Pitt, though, I mean, we watched them lose that game to West
West
Virginia, and
Virginia, yeah.
I want to say that they had the lead in that game, and they came back and they lost in overtime. I
They
want to
did.
say,
I think it was 31-14, I think is what it was. And I think they came back and it was tied to go in overtime like 31-31 or something like that, or 34-34, I forget. Anyway, they ended up losing, so I mean, but
yeah, yeah,
but here's the thing though, like it is a noon game for Florida State, so that's in their favor, but I think this is one of those games where you have a team coming off of a huge loss at home and you have Pitt rolling in. Now granted, I don't even know what Pitt did last week. So Pitt throttled O'Brien's freaking Eagles last week. Throttled them.
hmm
48-7. They beat Boston College.
yeah,
So they're coming off of you have a team coming off of the best win of their season and a team coming off the worst loss of their season. Well, no, Virginia's a worse loss, but it was in overtime, so whatever. But anyway, I just think this is a game Mike Norvell needs to get his team focused because, I mean, you could blink your eyes. This is one of those noon ACC games. You could blink your eyes and this game could be 21-0 Pitt and Florida State's in a hole. Like, this is how these noon games go.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like you said, this is a Florida State team coming off back-to-back losses. You had the Virginia loss, and then you had the Miami loss. Um, the Miami loss isn't nearly as bad as that Virginia loss. I mean, I didn't understand that went to double overtime, but I felt like Florida State should have handled Virginia if they were as good as what they were hyped up to be, I guess. Um, I definitely think Florida State has the edge to come back to really bounce back here, and make a statement against Pitt that hey, we're not completely eliminated from ACC play. Like we still have a chance. But like you said, if
Yeah.
they don't, I definitely think that coach is going to be riding that hot seat again.
Yeah, because if they don't, it's gonna really, because then they gotta go play a good Syracuse team at Syracuse at night. Obviously, it's in a dome, so it doesn't really matter what time of day it
Yeah,
is. But
yeah,
needless to say, like they got to go play Syracuse, and Syracuse is. I'm not saying they're a great team, but we see what they did to Clemson, so they can compete. Um, or that's Pitt. I'm sorry. I was looking at
yeah.
Pitt's
That's
schedule.
it.
So
I was gonna say,
so they got to go all the way out on the road to Stanford at night. That's a long, long travel out there at night.
yeah.
10:30
I'm
p.m.,
I'm
dude.
just not a fan of these new conferences personally for that reason right
No,
there. I
I'm not
mean,
either. It's dumb. It's dumb. You have a team on the East Coast down in the bottom right corner of the East Coast for in this
yeah,
particular instance, traveling all the way up to it's so dumb, dude. It doesn't like
yeah.
I understand this, but it it is what it is. You can't see me, but I did
Correct.
the little money animation because that's what it is. It's all about money. So I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, Florida
Yeah,
State definitely needs this win badly. Mike Norvell needs this win because yeah, if he gets a loss now, the hope and drive of this team, the morale is just gonna take a dive. So
yeah,
this is a
absolutely.
really really big. Honestly, this is a big game for both coaches, Pat Narduzzi and Mike Norvell, because Pat Narduzzi
Yes.
has been riding the line of Pitt wanting to get rid of him because he's just had mediocre season after mediocre season after mediocre season. And obviously
Yeah.
Mike Norvell came off of like one of the worst seasons in Florida State football history after coming off
Mhm.
of one of the best seasons in Florida State football history. So
Yeah.
this is huge for both coaches. Huge for both coaches.
Yeah. Completely agree.
So, all right, we'll move into one game that I am like just I'll tell you I'm salty that it's not I'm salty that it's not a night game, because if this is a night game, I think that Alabama really, really struggles because Columbia is a really hard place to play in. But
Yes.
The Missouri Tigers versus the Alabama Crimson Tide, I think that Alabama, because it's a noon game, I think they win. If it's a night game, I'm not gonna lie. If it's a night game, I think Missouri wins. I still think Missouri has a chance. Like, I know we've seen Alabama playing some good football lately, but last week against Vanderbilt, like that game was a lot closer than what the score indicates.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that I know it
Yeah.
ended. I know it was 30-14, but I mean, if you watch that game, it was a lot closer than what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree, and I think this is a great opportunity to see what Prbula is made of. Um, I know you got Penn State fans who are like really concerned. Well, not concerned, but some of
Salty.
them salty and second guessing the coaching decisions to keep Aller and not letting this man get a start. He's played well at Missouri. I'm with you. I don't know if they have enough to beat Bama. But not saying they can't. I mean, their running back has a nose for the end zone. He has 9 touchdowns on the year already, 103
So
carries, 7. Go
here's the
ahead.
problem. So I was gonna say, here's the problem for Missouri. If you're a Missouri fan, Missouri's defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue here, because this is a team that gave up 31 points to Kansas, and
Yeah.
Kansas. I mean, they beat South Carolina. South Carolina, what, 29? I don't even know what it was. It was in the 20s, 28-20,
Did
something
Sellers
like
play
that.
in that game?
Yeah.
He
He
did.
did. He did.
Okay.
He played in that game. I think
Okay. I'm just curious.
he did, but I mean, I think if I remember right, he had a pretty good game too. But it just, yeah. I think that if Missouri can keep Alabama's defense under wraps, I think Alabama's offense can score on Alabama's defense.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Alabama has a fantastic defense, but this Missouri team is racking up points. I think
Mm-hmm.
that, and here's the big thing. This Missouri team had 2 weeks to prepare. This is a team that's coming off a
Yes.
bye. So they're just sitting there. All they've been doing these past 2 weeks is just picking apart the way Alabama plays on the defensive side of the football. So
Yeah.
if they can figure out a way to score on Alabama and score on that Alabama defense, I think that is gonna, or I'm sorry, if they can figure out a way to stop Alabama, I think that'll make or break the game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Bama team too that's coming off of 2 tough wins. I mean, they beat Georgia and they beat Vandy, and I think that's tough. And now you gotta play 14th ranked undefeated Missouri at Missouri. So I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, I don't know if anyone got banged up, but I mean, you would think with playing those couple opponents there, it's going to do one of two things. Either it's going to be exhausting or it's going to motivate you. And we're going to find out. And I'm excited for this game too. It's going to be a fun one to watch here at noon.
Yeah, and this could be one of those games too where there's so much hype around it, and it just
Hmm.
it turns into a one-sided flop. Like, I would not be
Yes.
surprised that if I turn this game on and there's all this hype around Missouri and Alabama's throttling them like 28-7. Like, that's just what Alabama does. That's their nature.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna pick Alabama because it's a noon game and I've seen what Alabama has done. Missouri hasn't played anybody. Um,
No.
really? I mean, they played South Carolina and Kansas, but this is an Alabama team that has beaten a good Vandy team and a good Georgia team.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take Alabama, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes either way, and I also wouldn't be surprised if it's a complete flop either way or on Alabama. I'd be surprised if Missouri came out and flopped Alabama, but I would not be
So
surprised
would
if
I.
Alabama came out and yeah. So I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll see. Um, the Red River Showdown, Oklahoma versus Texas. I'm gonna be honest. I think this game is a complete different story if John Mateer is able to go.
It's gonna say that's the biggest news, I think, is John Mateer saying listed as probable for this game. Um,
And here's the thing too. If he is able to go, are they pushing the issue? Is he truly ready to go? Or is it just kind of like, hey, like you're 50%, get out there. This is
mhm,
our biggest game of the season yet. So
yeah, we need you.
yeah. And
Yeah, I
then
mean,
you're playing a limited quarterback. I don't know.
mhm. Oh, I'm with you. I don't know how it's gonna go. Regardless, though, I mean, Arch has been playing bad. I mean, there's no
Oh
way
yeah.
to like, yeah. And I hate to ride him too hard. I don't want to say he's playing horrible. I think the hype is was set really high for this kid coming in.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, yeah, dude. They're out there acting like this dude's a Heisman candidate before the season. We've seen him play in like a game and a half prior to this season. Like we've seen him start what against like a nobody team last year, I think it was, and then
yeah, I don't think he.
he came in for bits and pieces in garbage time. So like,
Yeah,
how are you making that analysis that he's gonna come out? Look, I understand his last name is Manning, and I understand he played on a Texas team that's made the playoff for the past like 3 years, but
hmm
he's not Quinn Ewers. He's a completely different quarterback. Like, I, I don't know. I just think that hyping him up after not seeing him, I understand hyping him up, but hyping him up like he's going to be, like, people were calling for him to start after Quinn Ewers had a couple bad
yeah,
throws last year, dude. Like, I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean, there was talks about him being the first round draft pick.
Yeah, dude,
I
that
don't just,
backfired.
I don't see that. Now I will say, I mean, losing to Florida last week was rough for him. I mean, that's a rough loss. Florida really hasn't impressed. I will say Florida played great in that game, but
Yeah, and
Florida hasn't impressed by any means.
I think Florida's defense too, like, is a lot better than what people realize it is. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, I think that
I
LSU
mean,
is,
yeah, we talked about that before. I mean, what's his name? The quarterback Lagway throwing 5 picks and
yeah,
only giving up 20 points.
that was
Yeah,
20.
20 or
I think it was 2010. I think is what it was.
okay, yeah. I mean, that's crazy. So, I mean, that defense right there, it speaks volumes to only give
Yeah,
up that many points off of that many
yeah,
turnovers.
dude. If he's throwing that many picks and you, mind you, at LSU, it wasn't even home. Like if he's giving
Yeah.
up that many picks and you're keeping, I don't think LSU is a top 10 team. I just don't. So
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna say that, but I will say they were a top 10 team. So if you're limiting LSU to that amount of points off of that amount of turnovers, that's a damn good defense.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
either that or go ahead.
the most that defense has let up all year is 26, and that was to Miami, who arguably has the best team in the country.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So Florida's D is legit. I mean, it's a good defense. So
Yes.
I'm not gonna sit here and haggle Arch Manning for having a rough time. Listen, he does the biggest game
hmm
of his young career in the swamp at Florida against a really good defense. So I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's a terrible quarterback. I don't think he's what people thought he was gonna be. I mean, I think that's kind of just displayed. Like he's a immature young quarterback. He's not Carson Beck or um you know anybody with real veteran experience because this is his first year as a true starter. But
Yeah.
I think that as the season progresses, you might see him start to kind of come into it a little bit. I mean, you can't expect too much out of the guy.
No. No.
And
I mean,
I will say I think if he's gonna start and kind of come into the season a little bit, like this would be the perfect game to do it. This would be the
Yes.
perfect game as a young Texas quarterback that has basically the entire fan base pissed off at you to
Hmm.
come out and shine, because this is the biggest game for both. Like this is the one game where both of these programs want to win every single year.
Yeah.
So if he can come out and sling the football against Oklahoma, I think you're going to take that entire fan base and you're going to just put them all right back on your side. So this is a huge game for not only both of these programs, but specifically for Arch Manning individually. Because
Correct, yeah.
if it is a bad game, if he does come out and throw 2-3 interceptions and blow the game,
Hmm.
it's going to be I mean,
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for Arch if that's the case.
because in this era of college football, you don't have patient fan bases. There's no such thing as a
No.
patient fan base anymore. Nobody likes this to be like, hey, no one likes to hear that this is a development year or a growth year. Like, they want the national title every single year. So if you're like, hey, this is just a year where we need to grow as a program, fans don't want to hear that. There's no more like, that's gone. That's in the past. It's now it's 8-4, 9-3. You can forget that. Those are losing seasons in today's era.
Yeah, yeah, especially with a
Yeah,
team like
a team like
Texas.
Texas. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean they're not going to accept that lightly. Like they're going to be riding him hard there. So
I I think if John Mateer can go, and I think if he can go 100%, even 75%, given what we've seen out of him, I think that
mhm,
Oklahoma wins this game. I'm not going to say they're going to blow Texas, but I think they'll win it comfortably, like by
yeah,
at least by a touchdown or 10 points or something like that.
yeah.
If
If
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. If he starts, I'm with you. If he doesn't, I think this game is really close. I don't know. It depends how Arch plays. If Arch doesn't play well, if he plays like he did against Florida, it's very close. If
yeah,
he, comes out and balls out, then I don't think this game is going to be as close as that. But this is I mean, this is a good game. Regardless, this
yeah,
is
and like
another good one
the Red
there.
River Showdowns, like it's always a Red River rivalry or whatever it's called now. Like it's
Hmm.
it's it's always just a fantastic game. So
Yeah.
Georgia Tech and VT.
Phew.
I think that, let me see. I want to see where this game is being played. Oh, it's at Georgia Tech. Yeah,
Yeah,
give me Georgia Tech all day
yeah, I was
long.
gonna say I'm leaning hard Georgia Tech as well. Kings played good. He played really well there against Clemson. And not saying Clemson was a big thing there, but that's a big game, and he showed up and showed out in that
Yeah,
game.
exactly. And I think that he's one of those guys where he's like the complete difference maker. So
Hmm.
if you can if he gets into a groove of slinging the football and doing what he does, breaking down that defensive line and everything, like I don't think that Virginia Tech has the manpower to go toe to toe with this Georgia Tech team's pretty good. This is a team that people are not, they're sneakily making their way up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they're making a case to be one of the top teams in the ACC. I don't know. I mean, I definitely don't think they're as good as Miami, but I
No.
mean, they're definitely a team though that if they keep winning, they have a chance to possibly make the ACC championship game. Their schedule's really not that hard moving out. They do have to play Georgia, which that's not a conference game. That's the biggest thing there, I think. That is not a
Yeah,
conference game.
I think that Georgia Tech makes. Listen, people were sitting here saying that Virginia's the second best team in the ACC. I don't think so. I don't. I think that I would personally take Georgia Tech over Florida State and Virginia every single
Yeah,
week. Like I just Haynes King is a baller. The dude, it, you take away Haynes King, you take away my pick for Georgia Tech. But if Haynes King is
correct.
starting in those games, I'm taking Georgia Tech every week.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll. Given that it's in Georgia Tech, it's at 3:30. Listen, this is the most hype around this Georgia Tech football team in a decade. So
Yes.
I think that the fans are going to come show out. I think that it's going to be a good old beatdown in Atlanta against VT at
Correct.
3:30.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, Notre Dame and the NC State Wolfpack. This is going to be the first Notre Dame road game since I think Miami, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think the Notre Dame's played on the road since Miami. They might have. Let me
They
check.
played at Arkansas.
Oh, that's right. They did. Yeah.
They killed Arkansas,
They
but they played at
destroyed
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and this is a game too. I think that Notre Dame is going to win as well. I think it's going to be a big game out of Jeremiah Love. CJ Carr has played extremely well. I just don't know how. I don't know who's going to take over that game out of the two of them, but one of the two. I just don't see the. I just don't see NC State coming away with a win here.
yeah, I just don't think that NC State, like, given that they're on the road, listen, NC State's one of those teams where they're every single one of their games this year has been very, very close. Like, it's not like
Yes.
they have convincingly, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They've convincingly beat one team. Convincingly.
Yeah.
It's Campbell.
Yeah. Yes.
I
And
mean,
yeah. I mean they beat Virginia.
yeah, but they also lost to Virginia Tech 2 weeks ago.
And yeah, and they barely stuck by ECU. And ECU is not a super great team.
No, I just, yeah, I don't think, I think, what's the line on this game? I got to see what the line is in this game, because if you're a college sports bettor, I'm telling you, I would.
22 and a half.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay.
No.
Okay,
That's
I don't know.
22 and a half.
I don't know if I'd maybe take that. Oh, that's a lot of points.
It is, but I honestly though, I think it might be doable for Notre Dame.
I know, I think it is. I would
I
actually take
think
that, I think.
for Notre Dame's sake, I think that if they cover, that would be huge for them. Because they really don't have. I mean, they have to play USC this year,
Yeah, but
and that's about it. After that,
USC's, I mean, USC's not a bad football team, but they're not what everybody I think
yeah,
thought they were going to be.
correct. I mean, unless Navy keeps it up, they're 5-0 right now.
Dude,
Like
Navy
outside of,
is.
they're
I mean,
moving.
it's Navy, but listen. Here's the
Yeah,
thing about Navy. I love to see Navy winning, but I mean,
yeah. I love seeing all of the military schools winning. It's awesome.
yeah, it is fun. The sad thing for Navy is that it's they're winning by like next to nothing. So
Yeah, that Air Force game last week, I watched a little bit of it. It was awesome to watch. That was a good game.
was that the one? Which one was that?
34-31. And then 34-31.
Was that, did they go an OT in that game? Or was that not OT?
I don't remember.
For some reason I thought maybe it was the week before.
No, I think it must have been a week before here, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, it must have been a week before because that game did not go in
Let
overtime.
me see. Oh no. Actually, yeah, no, I thought they, yeah, I guess none of them. I don't know. I'm looking, maybe I was thinking of somebody else. Yeah, here I'm looking at their schedule right now. VMI 52-7, UAB 38-24, Tulsa 4.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, they're getting by. Yeah. But anyway, I think that back to Notre Dame, I think that Notre Dame is going to convincingly beat NC State.
So do I.
Nothing there. Oregon and Indiana. This is a huge game in terms of how the rest of the season. This is the game I think where we get to see what Indiana truly has, and what the rest of both of these team seasons are going to look like. Because if Oregon beats the way Oregon beats Indiana, I think will shape up how this Oregon team is kind of regarded. And if Indiana can somehow find a way to beat Oregon, they respect that they are going to gain from this win. I mean, Huge. And I this is the one game I think on this entire spreadsheet we have here that I truly I don't really know who I want to take because I want to take Oregon. Let me make that clear.
Yes,
But I think that Indiana, like the way Indiana has been scoring, dude, is just insane.
it is. It is. And then there was a lot of talk: was Illinois that bad, or is Indiana that good? I don't think Illinois is that bad. I think Indiana is good. I just think Illinois had a bad week.
Yeah, and I actually completely forgot. I was looking at their schedule here. I completely, for some reason, I was thinking Indiana was on a bye this past week. I did not even realize Indiana was playing. This is the first time I'm even seeing that they played Iowa. They beat Iowa by
Yeah.
5 points.
Hmm.
I'm gonna retract everything I just said. Everything. The fact that they beat Iowa by 5 points, that was the first team besides Illinois of substance. I mean, yeah, the Illinois win's beautiful, but you put up 20 points on a team like Iowa.
Yeah, I
I don't know.
mean, the most, yeah, because Rutgers put more up against them. Rutgers put
That's
28 up. They lost. The Rutgers lost. I just want to make that clear. Rutgers lost, but they did drop 28 on them. I'm
yeah, and
anxious to
that's
see. I think this Oregon team's just too fast. This Oregon team's good.
I I think so too.
Um, Now that Penn State lost last week, I think was a fluke there at UCLA. Um, but I just this Oregon team's a good team. They went into Penn State night game, white out, and won.
Yeah, and let's be
And
clear, like
you
that's
can't
hard.
take
That's
anything away
hard
from that.
for yeah, that's hard for whether Penn State's 0-10 or they're 10-0. Like
Hmm.
the whiteout is always a hard place to win. So,
Yes.
I mean, I don't care if Penn State's having the worst season of their entire Penn State history. The whiteout is still going to be a hard place. Like it's always a toxic environment. So, Oregon to go in
Correct.
there and win, I mean, that's an impressive win on their resume. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's at Oregon. I for some reason I thought it was at Indiana. Yeah, no. I'm gonna say Oregon wins. I don't
Mhm.
obviously I'm gonna say Oregon wins, but I think that Oregon's gonna win by. I'm actually gonna go as far as saying I think 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. They're gonna cover. It's 7.5. I definitely see Oregon covering in that game. Um, Easily. Real quick, I just want to give a score update. South Florida's 56-28, and Rutgers is up 13-10 there at halftime.
Oh, it is
And
halftime.
then, yes, and Fresno and Colorado State. Fresno is up 35-14 right now.
Hmm, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way both of these teams play, I think is gonna be a indication on what we'll see the rest of the season. Like Indiana, this is their chance. This is their shot. Besides last year against Ohio, this is their shot again to write off all the critics and be like, we have a team.
Correct.
I don't
I agree.
I just don't see it. I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't think, especially on the road at 3:30 in Eugene, given what we've seen against well, guys, given I see what they did against Iowa, you're going up
Yeah.
against a much better team. I don't think they have the pieces to complete
Yep.
the puzzle. All right. This is a big one for one program and not a very big one for another program. Penn State and Northwestern.
Yes.
I I think this game is listen, I think Penn State is going to come out and I think they're going to destroy Northwestern. Personally, I think they will. I think that this team they have to. They have to. I mean, they don't really
They
have a
have to.
choice. Yeah, they don't really have a choice at this point.
Hmm.
Um, if Penn State, if Penn State has any hiccup against Northwestern, I think you can just go ahead and write off the rest of their season like toast.
Yeah, absolutely, completely agree. Um, it's a 3:30 game at Beaver Stadium. It's, I mean, this Northwestern team did beat UCLA. I want to say that. Not by a lot. I think it was 17-10, something like that. I think it was a one score game. Regardless, Penn State can't drop this game. For, I mean, for James Franklin, for Drew Aller, Katron Allen, they can't. They can't drop this game. They have to come out and win. I think
And
they will come out and win. They can't come out and play as sloppy as they did against UCLA.
and I think that, listen, I think that I'm sure the practice this week was hell. Because it had to be. I mean, it had to be.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the expectations that this Penn State team had in the offseason were the biggest the biggest expectations that a Penn State football program has had in probably over a decade. No, you know what? Yeah, no, just about a decade. I would say that the ambitions, the 2017 year, the year after Penn State just missed the college football playoff, the year they beat Ohio State in Beaver Stadium and everything, the following year, the expectations were through the roof that year. I would say this year is equal to that year. You have a Penn State team that's returning so many people, and you have 2 losses already. I mean, we're not even at the halfway point yet, and you're already at 2 losses. This is not, no Penn State fan thought this was going to happen. I mean, this is a Penn State team that dozens and dozens and dozens of people, like analysts and obviously fans, and this was an undefeated team at this point in the year for most people, and you have 2 losses already. So Penn State needs to come out and they need to make a statement against a not very good Northwestern. Listen, this team is, I understand it beat UCLA. UCLA, let's not forget, is a bad football team. They had one good week. The best week that they could have envisioned. I mean, for UCLA, that's not something that UCLA does every week.
No, it was a bad football team with no coaches.
Exactly.
That's what kills me there. I mean,
and this is a team, I understand that they beat UCLA, but that's nothing to sit and write home about. Like, UCLA isn't good.
no.
So Penn State at home, 3:30. They have to win. They're gonna win. They have to do it convincingly. I think they will do it convincingly because, listen, Carl Nicky and Jim Knowles, like, they know that, especially Jim Knowles. I mean, I'm sure he knows that he underperformed last year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's the highest paid coordinator in the country. I don't know if he is or not. I thought he was, but I could be wrong on that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Either way, you give up 42 points to UCLA, you better be giving up negative amount of points to Northwestern the next week to make up for it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I think the Penn State will come out, make a statement, and then they need to set their sights on Ohio State completely because, I mean, yeah. But yeah, Northwestern, I don't think Northwestern has a chance in this game. Texas A&M against the old DJ Lagway Gators. Listen, Florida has a much better football team than what people think. I don't care what anybody says. This Florida football team, they've competed with everybody they've played. Like, literally every single team
their defense have kept them every game.
Yeah, every loss they have this year, South Florida, Miami, and now LSU. Listen, all 3 of those games, aside from, I would say, Miami, because Miami did kind of control that game. But
yes.
this is a 1-loss Florida team if they can cut away the dumb mistakes. And that's the honest to God truth. Like, this is a Florida team that people are looking at their record and going, okay, well, it's time for Billy Napier to get out of there. And that's a topic for another time. But this is also a Florida team that could very well have 1 loss going into this game. So if you're A&M, you better not be sleepwalking. That's all I'm going to say.
No, completely agree. This is a game they need to come out and take very seriously. Especially with the way this Florida defense is played. They have to they have to come out to win this game and really just go all out. I mean, they played great this year. They really have. I mean, they got the two UTSA, Utah State. They handled those teams. Notre Dame was a big win for them. Auburn, they snuck a win out, 16-10. And Mississippi State, they won 31-39. They can't come out and sneak a win like they did against Auburn because I don't see that happening. This is something that I feel like they're gonna have to come out and really be firing on all cylinders if they want to beat this Florida team.
Yeah, and it definitely helps their case that it's at home. Like
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
it's in College Station, so I think that they're obviously going to have that on their side. But this is definitely a game where whether it's played in College Station or whether it's played in the Swamp, man, I'm telling you, like this team's better than what people think they are. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I agree entirely with that.
Y-
I'm still gonna lean A&M because it is a night game at home. They're 5-0. Their confidence should be high.
Yeah,
Florida at this point, I feel like is playing just just to play with their heart. So it's definitely a doable game. But we'll get to watch that one. It's going to be another great 7 o'clock kickoff.
yeah, and I think that if DJ Lagway can limit his mistakes and
Yes.
m- be more of a game manager, I think that
Hmm.
I think they have a chance. I would say. Um, A and M A&M had a very sluggish start against Mississippi State last week. So if they have a sluggish start against Florida and Florida can capitalize on that sluggish start and DJ Lagway can minimize his mistakes, I mean, who knows? Who knows what can happen? I do think Texas A&M will win. Just given it's at home, I think they have the better team, and I think that the quarterback play is a little a little a little what's the right word? Um,
Western.
I just think that it, DJ Lagway has really his decision making has really hurt how Florida like where they stand currently. So I think how his performance in this game I think is gonna tell a lot. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I don't know. I think that Florida, if they can kind of slow things down, I think that they'll have a chance. I think if they let Texas A&M play at Texas A&M's pace, I think DJ Lagway is going to try and fit that football in the spaces that he knows he can't fit it in, but he's still going to try, and
Yeah.
they're going to find themselves in a lopsided matchup. So the key for A&M is or for Florida is to just try and slow the game down a little bit. All right,
Yeah, completely agree.
Georgia, Georgia and Auburn. Um, I think this game. I don't know. I think this game can go any way you paint it. I think it's it's one of those games where if if Mike Bobo and the Georgia defense can kind of pull their head out of the gutter a little bit and have a clear thinking mind, I would say as a Georgia Bulldog fan, and play and write up a game the way that they're able to. I think we're looking at a Georgia football win. But if we see Mike Bobo's typical play calling, screens and little out routes and just the typical Mike Bobo things that he likes to do. And on the defensive side of the football, we see the Glenn Schumann special where we have just gash play after gash play after gash play after gash play. Listen, Georgia is going to find themselves with 2 losses. I'm just being honest. Like, you're playing at night at Auburn. This Auburn team always gives Georgia trouble, especially whenever we play them at home. Destroyed. We destroy them. Whenever we play on the road at Auburn, it's always a different story. We won there 2 years ago because of Brock Bowers. That's it. If we took away Brock Bowers, if you remember, I was tweeting during that game pretty heavily.
Yeah. Yes, I do. I do.
That was a lot of tweeting going on by me in that game.
I'm leading Georgia heavy on this. I know it's on the road, but this is an Auburn team that's lost to Oklahoma, lost to A&M, and I think it continues on that trend this week. I think Georgia's got too good of a football team. They lost. Georgia dropped the game against Alabama. That game could have went either way. I feel at any point in this season, and I feel like if they play again tomorrow, it'd be the same thing. That game could go either way. I think there's a great. This is going to be a good matchup, but I think Georgia wins. I think they cover. It's 3.5. I think they win by at least a touchdown. So I'm leaning towards Georgia here, pretty heavy on my end.
I'm gonna pick Georgia just because, obviously, I'm a Georgia fan. But I listen. If I said I was nervous, or if to say I'm not nervous is a lie, because I really just I just don't know how much I trust. More so the offense than the defense. I trust Kirby Smart. I know he's not the defense coordinator, but when push comes to shove, I know Kirby's in that locker room hounding that defensive coordinator. And whenever that team comes back out, we've seen it time and time again. Kirby Smart and his Georgia Bulldogs go in that tunnel. They're getting gashed, just destroyed. They come back out in the second half, and it's contained. Like, Kirby has that figured out. The offense, that offense goes in that tunnel struggling. They come out struggling even worse sometimes. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a fan of Mike Bobo. I've never been a fan of Mike Bobo. I don't think Mike Bobo should be the offense coordinator of Georgia, but he is. So it is what it is. I'll let it go at that. But I'm just saying that he is going to need to do plays. He's gonna need to draw plays to build Gunnar Stockton's confidence, because he's on the road at night. You're not going to be able to get this win by just doing dumb little out routes and dumb little screens, Mike Bobo. So, I mean, I'm just saying he's gonna need to do something to get the confidence of Gunnar Stockton up, because if he doesn't, Gunner's gonna go in, he's gonna try and fit that ball in a tight window during a high pressure moment, and he's not gonna squeeze it. And maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm not. I don't know. I'm just saying that yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna stop right there.
For the sake of Buddy's blood pressure, I really hope that Georgia holds it together.
I'm starting to get heated just thinking about it, because the more I think about it, the more I'm just sitting here running through my head how Mike Bobo designs football, and sometimes I think that I could literally poke a hole in that dude's head, and just the amount of air that would come out of it would fill up all the tires in my car from flat. Like, I don't understand his thought processes sometimes in key situations. I'm done with my Mike Bobo rant, but it needed to happen. It's gonna happen. Listen, if we do another one of these, I know I'm gonna be on here throwing a freaking hissy fit about the way Mike Bobo and his play calling was against Auburn, because I know it's gonna be terrible. It always is, dude. Like the Tennessee game, we put up dude, we put up a lot of points in the Tennessee game, right? So if anyone who didn't watch Tennessee game, high scoring affair. If you watch that game, the only reason that we put up all those points are because we have good players on our roster. That's it. That's literally it. It was a dumb little screen pass that our player turned into a 20-yard game because he's a good player.
It was a lot of the wide receiver screens. A lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to pick Georgia, but yeah. All right. USC and Michigan. This is an interesting one because I don't think Michigan's like a closet kind of bad. Like their schedule or their record doesn't portray, I feel like, how bad they like, or their record doesn't portray really how not great they are. They have one loss against Oklahoma. It's a good loss. It's not a bad
Yes.
loss. Oklahoma's a good team.
Yes.
But I don't think that Michigan is really that great. I think that USC has every chance to, and USC has had this game circled because last year USC should have beaten this team last year and they didn't. So I think this game should be played. It's played in Southern Cal, I'm pretty sure, because I think that they went to the big house last year.
Yeah,
So
yeah. This is.
yeah, listen, USC's gonna win this football game. Telling you.
I think that's a real possibility here. I just don't know. Bryce Young's really young. Or Bryce Young, Bryce Underwood. I'm
Underwood.
sorry.
I know you meant.
Yes,
He is. He
Bryce
is.
Underwood. He's really young. I'm really torn on this game. I don't know. Michigan, they're ranked 15th. They haven't really played anyone with the exception of Oklahoma, and they lost. Um, they snuck out a win against Nebraska. They did handle Wisconsin pretty well. Um, when I say snuck out a win, I didn't watch that game, so don't attack me if I'm wrong. But to me, it looked like the scoreboard looks like that they snuck out a win there.
Oh, Nebraska.
Yeah,
Oh no, I
they
watched it.
won.
They snuck out a win.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
they
I
snuck
watched
out
that
a
game.
win. Okay, okay.
I think that
So I
they were
just,
definitely, not to cut you off. I just want to say they were definitely the better football team in that game, Michigan.
hmm
But Nebraska would not go away. So I mean,
yeah, and this is another one where I feel like I want to say Michigan is the better football team. I don't know if Michigan's the better football team. I I'm really torn. I'm gonna lean Michigan to win this. I'm not fully convinced they're going to win this, but if I had to pick, that's where I'm gonna lean, just towards them. Now, the only thing that makes me even like makes me really hesitant is that it's a 7:30 game at USC. So I'm still gonna lean Michigan though.
so I'm picking USC for a few reasons. The first one is, like you mentioned, it's out in California at night. That's a
Yeah.
long travel for a team like Michigan. Because again,
Mm,
the conference is, it makes so much sense geographically.
yeah.
Whatever, it is what it is. Dumbest thing ever, but whatever. Um, but anyway, I think that's reason number one. Reason number two is USC. Like I said, they should have beaten this Michigan team last year
hmm
in Michigan. They should have. They had that game. I mean, that game was theirs to lose, and obviously they ended up losing it. But that's number two. Number three is I have, if you can stop Michigan's running attack, if they can figure out
Yes.
a way to stop Michigan's running attack, Michigan does not have anything else. That's it.
No, Underwood has very much underperformed in the passing game, in my opinion.
But also, in his defense, it's because he hasn't had to really perform in the passing game. The running game has been phenomenal for Michigan. So if USC can find a way, if their D line can find a way to bully Michigan's O line, which I don't think they can. I think that Michigan kind of, I don't know. I just think that Michigan's O line is way much better. But I think that if USC can find a way to stop Michigan's running game, I think USC wins this game with ease, because I don't think Bryce Underwood is gonna have the experience to go toe to toe in a shootout without running the football and having that running game.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise. That would not surprise me at all. I'm just hesitant. That's all. I'm really hesitant to pick Michigan, but I'm sticking with it. I said it. I'm gonna stay with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it could very well. I think that it could go either way. So, all right. Who we got here? We have Kansas and Texas Tech.
Kansas, Texas Tech. I have not watched any Kansas football this year, and I think I have watched very little Texas Tech football. With that being said, just from looking at this, I'm gonna lean Texas Tech. I think that Texas Tech is has a very good chance to win the Big 12 this year. Um, and I just don't see. Now, I will say I do like the quarterback at Kansas. I think Jalen Daniels is a good quarterback. I think that he will be drafted. I don't know if he'll start or play in the NFL, but I do like him. I just don't think that they're going to have enough to be able to beat this Texas Tech team.
No, yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech, and I'm taking Texas Tech convincingly. And I'll tell you why. I think so. I watched Texas Tech last week play, and then it's a little bit of a sore subject because I had some betting going on, which is always always healthy. Um, so I have a little bit of a resentment towards Texas Tech, but I think I think this Texas Tech team is solid. Like I think that they're solid on every aspect of the football team. Like they manhandled um SM no who was it? Who did they play last week? Texas Tech and
Houston.
Houston. That's who it was. I keep wanting to say SMU because they had Houston had like their alternate uniforms on. So
Okay, okay.
it reminds me of SMU's uniforms. But
Mm.
yeah, they played Houston. Dude, they manhandled that Houston team. Like never there was no doubt that they were the better team.
Right.
The score should have been much worse. And Texas Tech was about to score again. The game ended on like the 6 yard line. I know this because I watched it up until the very last tick because I needed the over for points, and well, they took they took three knees to end the game. And also it
So,
ended my parlay chances, but whatever.
so with that being said, are you going to take them again in a 14.5 point favorite this week?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you're
You're
betting,
taking
I
it.
would
You're taking
absolutely
it.
smash the spread for Texas Tech. Listen, Texas Tech is just it's at home, it's at night. They're rolling. They're the ninth. This is the most hype around a Texas Tech team since '07 with Mike Leach there. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is that place is gonna be rocking. They're probably gonna do a blackout or a red out, whatever they do. I don't know what they do down there, but either way, like I'm taking Texas Tech for sure. Texas Tech is they're gonna show out in this game. I think Texas Tech beats this Kansas team so convincingly that next week the rankings come out and they're ranked like I don't know, 6 or 7. I think they jump a few ranks.
Okay.
Um, yeah, no, for sure. LSU and South Carolina. This is gonna be LSU's
This
first dabble back with football after a week off, much needed week off. So
this is an interesting one to me. Um, I'm gonna lean here. I'm gonna say LSU because of their defense, I guess. Yeah, because of their defense, I'm gonna lean LSU. I think Sellers is really good. Um, Not to take anything away from him, but I just think that LSU's defense is gonna be able to hold this team enough. The over on this game's 43.5, and I would take the under personally. I don't think that they
yeah,
more than 43.5. Um, but I'm leaning LSU here. This game's at 7:45. I believe it's at LSU.
yeah, it
I'm gonna lean
is.
LSU.
Dude, I just want to say real quick, just to South Florida just scored again.
Did they? Jeez.
Dude, it is about to be 63-36.
Yeah. And
Dude,
dude, this North Texas team is 5-0. They were supposed to be their
dude,
well, not their only competition, but one of their biggest competition, the biggest competitors in the American.
dude, there is still 6 minutes left in this game, and they've put up 99 points.
Yeah,
99 total points, dude, in this
it's
game.
crazy.
That is insane. You imagine if you took the under, how freaking crappy you'd be feeling right now, dude.
Speaking of just live right now, Washington scored. It's 17-13.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's another one. Like I think that Washington's gonna start. I look for them to start taking command of that game.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, no, we can get back to what we were talking about. I just wanted to
Yeah,
share that because that's just nuts. The fact that they're one touchdown away or field goal from going over 3-digit total points,
yeah,
which
that's
is
crazy.
just nuts. No,
Yeah,
yeah, I think the LSU. I actually personally think the LSU South Carolina game. Um, you know what? No, I would actually agree with you. I don't know if it'll go over 43. We said 43 and a half. Is that what you said?
yeah, 43 and a
Yeah,
half.
I don't think it'll go over that either. Listen, this is an LSU offense that put up what was it like 20 something points on LA Tech, I think it was. Like they didn't put up very
LA
many
to
points.
23.23, yeah.
Yes, they
They
put
did drop 56, but I want to say it was, I don't even know who this team is. Southeast Louisiana, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not looking at that.
The
I'm
the,
being
the
honest, I'm just not.
here's the big ones. To show me that this LSU offense is stagnant. 17-10 against Clemson. Okay.
Yeah.
17 points. 19 points against Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
And the big one, 20 points on 5 turnovers against Florida.
Yeah.
Now, I think that Ole Miss, Clemson, and Florida probably maybe potentially all have better defenses than South Carolina. Um, but
Yes.
I
I
don't
can agree with that.
I don't know. I don't think that LSU is going to drop a bomb of points. You know, I don't think that they're going to have that many points
Yeah.
against South Carolina. Like I don't think they're going to have enough points to where we're like, okay, this team's starting to find something. And I'm going to be honest, just looking down the stretch here, this LSU team, ooh, man, do they have a brutal schedule, dude.
Oh, yes. Yes. I mean, this is something we can get into here because
Bro, this schedule's
uh,
so brutal.
it is. I mean, after this week, they got Vandy, A&M, Bama, then they get Arkansas in Western Kentucky. Then they got to go to Oklahoma. And
Yeah, dude.
oh, I don't know, man. This is a rough schedule. And this was a
This
team that
is
I picked to be high in the playoffs. I want to say I took them in my top four at the
yeah,
beginning of the
I
year.
think you did.
And unfortunately, I don't think they're getting there.
I don't I don't want to throw out a major overreaction, but I would not be surprised if this team has like 4 or 5 losses by the end of the year. Like,
Yeah.
I
If they
mean,
don't figure it out offensively, I think you might be right.
dude, I could see them losing every single besides Western Kentucky. I could honestly see how they would maybe lose every single game the rest of the
Yeah,
year. The
the
Arkansas
Arkansas
one,
game,
but then again, this is an Arkansas team that we've seen go toe to toe with Ole Miss,
they did.
and they went toe to toe, and they should have beat a very hot Memphis team. So
Yeah.
I mean, Arkansas is not bad. They've been listen. Arkansas is in a really bad place right now. I love
Hmm.
Sam Pittman. He just got fired. I love him, but he needed to go. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, Arkansas is a better team than what's going on right now with their program. And I have a
Correct.
lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in Arkansas's quarterback. I love Arkansas's quarterback. I think that he is.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think that Taylor Green can sling the football, but so aside from Western Kentucky, I honestly God I think that LSU has a legit chance to lose every single game. I don't think they will. I mean that would just be besides yeah. I don't think they will. I don't even want to dive into that and make that outrageous claim because I don't want to have that attached to me and people be like, you said they're going to lose every game. But I'm just saying the LSU is not looking very good. So the expectations that came with Brian Kelly and the outcome of what we're seeing is, I don't know. I could really see, I see Washington just scored again. I could see Brian Kelly tucking his tail here pretty soon and maybe trying to maybe he'll leave that team a note just like he did Notre Dame. Be like, hey, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Speaking, I'm just going to dive into this real quick. Speaking of this, I'm sure everyone's seen the rumors of Belichick wanting out of North Carolina. I think that is just
Yeah.
that's crazy. I know they canceled the HBO series or Hulu series, I don't remember which, with North Carolina because they were supposed to do every single game they were supposed to coach with there. This is rather interesting. I don't know if this what this means for Belichick's future or if that's something that's just rumor. It could just be rumor. I don't know.
So here's the thing with Bill Belichick. I don't know if he's getting like cold feet after taking the job. Like I don't know if he's starting to realize maybe he's not cut out for college football. Dude, college football is so much different than pro football. I think we can both agree on that.
Oh yes.
There's so much more interaction that needs to go on with college football. Like we're talking as soon as the season ends, these coaches are back on the recruit. They get like maybe a couple weeks where they go home, hang out with their family. But even then,
Hmm.
they're still DMing and talking and
Oh yes.
video chatting
Constantly.
all these recruits. Like, does Bill Belichick does he have that in him? I
I don't.
mean, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to say that he's lazy or anything, but I just think that maybe he took a job that
It's
he wasn't really committed to.
Yeah, I mean it's a complete different world. College, the NFL. I mean NFL, you're just dealing with contracts. College, you're dealing with you're dealing with families in college. I
Yeah,
mean,
and not only that, but
you
like
know,
in college, the most you would get out of a player is 4 years, 4 or 5 years. Granted,
correct.
on
Well,
depending on
COVID 6.
yeah, depending on certain situations. The NFL, if you sign a guy and you like him, you might have him for the next decade. So it's
Correct.
it's very very different from not only like a coaching aspect and an outside like postseason and off
Yeah.
season aspect, but it's also different from development because you get to develop a player for a short amount of time, and then he's either going to be leaving your program to go to another program in the transfer portal, or leaving your program to graduate and try and go to the NFL.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just so much different. And not to mention, I don't want to be that guy, but I will be that guy and say that Bill Belichick's girlfriend has had a very heavy influence on what his decisions have been the past year.
Yeah.
So maybe something's there. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Hard to tell.
it is
Wouldn't
very,
surprise me, but hard to
very
tell.
hard to tell. And to be honest, too, like, I don't know if Bill is still concerned about what his destiny or what his what's the word I'm looking for? What his um help me out here. What's the word I'm looking for?
His future
No, his holy smokes.
dynasty
Yeah, kind of like
legacy.
legacy. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I don't know if he's still concerned about his legacy and if you know in that area, but this North Carolina
Yeah,
team is horrible, dude. Like this is a team
they
that could
are.
very well be going 2-10, 3-9. Like they're not good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they are.
does he? I don't know if he wants to. I don't know if he wants to get out before that's attached to him. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But I want to reiterate. I mean, personally, I wouldn't attach that to him this year. This is his first
Correct. Yeah.
year. He inherited a program that Mac Brown just kind of left in the dumps. So
Yeah, he did.
I don't think that I would. I'm not going to sit here and put the blame on Bill for their season, but I don't know. I think if anything, he's just having cold feet
Yeah, and he very well could be.
and not really realizing until he got there, until he already took the job, what college football
What
kind
he
of
got into.
yeah, exactly what he's dealing with. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that develops, especially from a week to week basis. Because if you're a North Carolina football player and you're seeing that your coach is maybe going to be leaving, what are you thinking? Like, what's your, you know what I mean? Like, where do you sit? Do you want to stay there with a coach that is going to be leaving every year, maybe, or would
Correct.
you want to
Yeah.
go somewhere that has a coach that you're going to be able to develop under and learn under? I know Bill Belichick's a hard coach to leave, given his history and you know
Oh yeah.
his status and everything, but I mean, if he's been coaching you guys for 7 weeks now, and there's already news spiraling out of control that he's wanting to leave. If I'm a player, that's not going to sit right with me completely. So,
Correct. Absolutely.
but all right, so we'll go into the late games, the two late games we have marked on here, the two I don't even know. I don't know what Arizona State's start time is. Is it
Ten
really late too?
fifteen. Ten
Yeah.
fifteen.
Yeah, so they're both extremely late. So we have a 10:15, and what was the other one? It was ridiculous.
Oh, that was the, I think that was the Hawaii game we were, yeah, I was said about
Oh
11:59
yeah.
kickoff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
we
8 o'clock.
talking
8 o'clock. I see. Yeah.
BYU is okay.
So yeah, the Utah State Arizona State game. This is listen. I think that Arizona State. I don't think they're a bad football team. Um,
No,
I don't know how Utah's. I understand Utah got throttled by Texas Tech. I think we're starting to kind of see maybe why. This is the game where Utah. It's at home. It's at night. Utah's gonna win this game. Utah's gonna win this game.
you
Arizona
think Utah?
State. Oh, I think Utah. Arizona State went down. Mississippi State is playing good football again. The coach down
Mm-hmm.
there has kind of flipped the narrative on that program. They're starting to kind of. They're starting to get. Listen, the SEC is a really hard program to gain
It is.
any traction whenever you're a program in the dumps. That coach has been doing a phenomenal job lifting Mississippi State out of the gutter they're in. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, I still don't think Mississippi State is a very good team in comparison to Utah. I think Utah would beat Mississippi State, and ASU dropped the loss to them, so I think they'll drop a loss to Utah as well. Utah needs this game to get
They
to
do.
get back on track. I mean,
They do. This and you're right. This is not a bad Arizona State team. It is a very different Arizona State team from last year. There's no Cam Scatabo in the backfield, and I think that that makes all the difference in the world.
yeah,
Um,
that's a big difference.
yeah, for some reason I always get Arizona State and Iowa State mixed up. I know that Scatabo went to Arizona State. I don't know why. I just always second guess myself there. But I don't know who I want to take here. I mean, I would like to say Utah, um, just because I feel like they are the better team. I think it's close. I think this is the neither of these teams can compete. I think with Texas Tech. At the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we Utah's already lost to Texas Tech, 34-10. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go Utah, I guess.
So I'm going to go Utah just because their stadium is toxic. It's at
Eh,
night. It's home. Um, they're coming off a big win against West
West
Virginia,
Virginia. Yeah.
and I don't know. Let me see if Arizona State if they are or not. Okay, and they're both of these teams are coming off buys, so
Yes. Yes. They both had time to
that's
prepare
they
here.
yeah both of them have had time to prepare. So there's no edge there. At the end of the day,
Hmm.
I think that the Utah home field advantage, and I think that Utah the 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 hunger for a quality win for a Utah team is gonna show up. I think.
Yeah. I guess that's gonna be my real defense here of why I'm taking Utah is because it's a home game more than anything. I think if this game was at Arizona, I do lean Arizona. But since it's home at 10:15, I'll lean Utah.
Yeah, same. Speaking of the old Arizona Wildcats, they got a big game against Birmingham Young University, and I don't think I will be taking the old Arizona Wildcats. I think that
I'm not either.
yeah, I think BYU's just too good of a football team for this Arizona team to get a win. I think that it's one of those
Yeah,
games where they can compete but not win.
yeah, and I think BYU has the second best team in the Big 12. I'll go that far. I
I
don't.
think I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you in that statement. I think that I'll say this. I think there's a noticeable gap between. I think Texas Tech is up here. I think
Yeah.
BYU's down here. I think that there's a noticeable gap between those two teams. Um,
Yes.
but I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that statement that those are the
Yeah.
two best teams in the Big 12.
This year, I'm saying. I mean, Texas Tech, I feel typically has the edge for the most part. Um, but I mean, I just BYU. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're undefeated. They're 5-0. Um, they've beat no one, but they're 5-0. I just don't see them being able to compete with Texas Tech. But I definitely think they're going to handle this Arizona team.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think I think BYU will. I think they might struggle a little bit just because it's a night game and it's away.
Hmm.
Um, but I think the second half that they'll come out and getting things straightened away.
Yeah,
So
and I
I look for
definitely
them to
take them
win.
to cover. Two and a
What
half to cover,
what's the spread?
absolutely.
Oh yeah. How don't they cover in that instance?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't. I don't think this
obviously
game's that
I
close.
under I get how they wouldn't be able to cover, but yeah, 2.5. That's a
Yeah,
really scary betting line for Vegas. Like I don't know why they would take that
yeah.
if they win, obviously. But
Correct. Yes.
um, just a little update here. Fresno is making a comeback,
Yeah, they are 21-35. I see that.
so I mean,
Yeah,
don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them Bulldogs play yet. I mean, this is listen. This game's only in the third quarter, so I mean,
it
this is
is. Yeah, there's a
a
lot of time left in that game.
and they had the ball as well. So
Mhm.
just just saying, old Fresno, they might not be done just yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think all these games are gonna be great. There's so many. I look at this list and I would honestly God I would sit down and watch any one of these games, dude. Like they're all great
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. I think so too. I think they are all great games.
I just want to sit here and I think if you had to pick one of these games where you think is the highest chance of an upset, who would it be?
Indiana, Oregon,
So Indiana squeaking away a win.
or yeah, Indiana squeaking away a win, or just because I don't really know what Indiana's made of. I don't know. Or I would say USC to beat Michigan.
Yeah, I would say my biggest one, my two would be this is unfortunate for me to say this, but Auburn beating Georgia. Just
That's a possibility too.
just because of and I'm not even gonna get into it, but Mike Bobo. Um the
There,
the other one I would say is a toss up between um Oklahoma and Texas.
yeah.
I could just given
Well,
the
and I think that goes back to Mateer's health status. Whether he plays or not, what percentage is he at? Obviously, they're not going to disclose he's at 50% prior to the game. They're not going to tell us that. But,
exactly.
you know, and another one I feel like too is South Carolina LSU.
Yeah,
There's quite a few games on here. There's actually a handful of games on here where I would say an upset wouldn't surprise me.
I know
Um,
the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, dude, I can
yeah.
see a lot of these games. The thing is, though, like I feel like there's only certain games on here that would really be kind of deemed an upset if it went one
Yes,
way.
correct.
But I could see. I would say the only game on here that I'm 100% would throw my entire bank account on if that team wins is Ohio State versus Illinois.
Hmm.
I just don't think that I don't think that Illinois has any chance of winning that game.
Right.
Competing for a little while, sure. Winning, no. Just
Correct.
not gonna happen.
Just to be clear, we're not telling you to throw your bank account on it, but
Yeah, yeah. By all means, do not listen to what I have to say right now. Don't do.
we're not encouraging. However,
Yeah, I'm just saying if you put Ohio State money line, Michigan State money line, how am I going to go over Pitt FSU? I would say FSU money line, Alabama money line, I'm skipping over Oklahoma, Texas because I just don't really trust that game that much.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia Tech money line, Notre Dame money line, Oregon money line, Penn State money line, A&M money line, skipping Georgia Auburn for reasons I won't discuss. USC money line, Texas Tech money line, skipping LSU, South Carolina, Utah money line, BYU money line. I don't know what the bet would be or what you'd get out of that, but I would be willing to bet that you'd have a pretty decent chunk of change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Granted, there is like I could see, I could see what was the one USC Michigan. I could see that one being flip flop, but I don't know if I'd put that in there. But all the other ones I said, I'm telling you, that's a good parlay. Maybe cook that up and only press that bet button if you want to. But just yeah, throwing it out there. I think that those games, like I said, every single one of these are just fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's another great week here.
This is going
So, yeah.
just a little off course before we wrap it up here. Does Penn State for one, do they cover?
No,
You don't think they cover?
I don't think they cover. I think they win. I don't think they cover. I think this is a Penn State team that we're going to see still struggle. Um, this is homecoming at Penn State. It's 21.5 is the spread. I just don't see. I mean, I definitely think that they could cover. I guess. I just, I just think that this is a team that doesn't have confidence right now, and that's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. They haven't won a conference game yet.
So I'm sitting here looking at 21.5 is the spread.
Mhm.
48.5 is the total. Dude, I would be willing to bet that this game doesn't even maybe potentially. Well, no, I would.
I think it goes over.
Yeah, the more I'm sitting here and doing the math, I would say yeah, it does. But these are two teams that whenever they're sluggish, they are really sluggish.
Yeah. Yes. You're not wrong.
Like Northwestern, besides the two cupcakes they have played, like 17, what was that, 17-34. They've scored 34 points between the three teams of substance total they have played. Just want to reiterate that. So UL Monroe, 42-7, they put up 42 points. UL Monroe is UL Monroe, obviously.
Yeah.
Western Illinois, not a good team.
Mm-mm.
UCLA, not a good team. But
No,
they only managed to muster 17. Okay,
they
at
did.
home. Oregon, at home. They actually didn't play bad again in that game, but they only mustered 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then they only mustered 3 points against Tulane. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they do cover. Penn State does cover, just because like I said earlier in the show, I think Penn State, like, they need this win. Like, they need this to be a convincing win to get confidence on their side, because the next game they play is Ohio State. So, I mean, or no, as Iowa. I think they play Iowa
Yeah,
first.
they play Iowa first. Yeah, it's a
But
7 o'clock
it's
game at Iowa.
at Iowa, exactly. So
We'll
this,
wait to touch on that till next week, but that's going to be interesting there.
yeah, and this, telling you, this Penn State team needs confidence if they want to
Yep.
hit the rest of this stretch down their schedule. Like, I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but yeah, it's gonna start heating up in Happy Valley. Happy Valley might turn into Sad Valley here pretty. I mean, they're already Sad Valley, but it might turn into the Sadder Valley here pretty soon.
An interesting question. We'll end with Penn State, but I just got an interesting question here. A reporter asked Drew Aller at the end of the UCLA
Yeah.
game, about still being in playoff contention, and he said yes. He said, "What do you think?" And I feel he's still pretty confident there. I like that. I did like that from Drew Aller. I like that. He's still showing confidence. I don't think it's delusional. Um, if they win out, they definitely get in.
Oh yeah, if they went out, they get in. Um,
Yeah.
the Here's the thing. I don't know whatever everyone else was thinking, but whenever he said, "What do you think?" I honest to God thought that he was saying that as like, what do you think? Obviously not. And then he said, yeah. And I'm like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't think that was the way that was intended to be
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
I thought he was just being like, he was all pissed off. I thought he was just being like, what do you think, dude? Obviously we're not. And then he said, yeah. And they
Right.
ended. And I'm like, okay. I mean, that's not where I thought that was going. But like you said, I do like that at least he's still holding on to a glimmer of hope that
Yeah, he's still showing confidence.
they could. Um, here's the big thing for if you're an Ohio State or Penn State fan, they have to get by Ohio State. That's the big block in the road.
Yes.
It's always Ohio State. It's always Ohio State. I mean, Franklin is 1-10 against this team, man. If he does not get past Ohio State, I just want to say he's done. He has to be
Correct.
done. He has to be done. If you're on that Penn State board and you're still going, James Franklin is our guy after going 1-11 against the team that the one team that you want to beat. I don't. Then anybody can be your guy. I mean, just to put it plainly, like I don't. If they can get past Ohio State, I think they make the playoff because I think that this team beats everybody else on this schedule except for Ohio State. Listen, I could see this team. I think this team goes 9-3 with a loss to Ohio State. I think they go into Iowa. They win in Iowa. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be like a 21-17, 31-28 type deal. It always is. Kinnick Stadium is like just a tough place to play. I think they'll go into Columbus with a little bit of confidence. I think they'll be 5-2 going into Columbus.
Yeah.
I think they'll be back inside the top 25, probably sitting around like, I don't know, 20, 21-ish, somewhere in there against Ohio.
Yeah.
I think they'll compete, but I cannot say that they're going to win. I mean, this is a team, like I said, they've won one time in the past 12 years. So how can you sit
Correct.
here and say that they're going to win?
Correct. No, I will say this. It feels like a year Penn State does beat Ohio State, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's not my prediction or anything. It just feels like that kind of year.
I know, but here's the problem if you're Penn State. If you do end up beating Ohio State, every single time they beat Ohio State, they let up somewhere else.
Oh, they did.
They never beat Ohio State and then smooth sail the rest of the year.
Correct.
And
in 16, they lost to Michigan and then Ohio, and then they turned around and lost the Rose Bowl.
Well, no, they lost to Michigan and they beat Ohio.
Yeah, they lost to Michigan. I'm sorry, because they lost to Pitt and then Michigan.
Yeah.
Then they beat Ohio and then lost in the Rose Bowl.
So I think that personally, I think a lot of that had the loss in the Rose Bowl. I think that team had their entire eyes on the playoff, and once they didn't get in the playoff, I think that just bummed out that team to the point where like they didn't want to be in the Rose Bowl. They wanted to be in the playoff, not the Rose Bowl. So it is what it is. But having, on the flip side, that team was throttling USC in the first half of that game, and they let Sam Darnold and the rest of that USC team come back and beat them off of a couple poor Trace McSorley decisions. But yeah, anyway, not to get off too far off topic. I think that if Penn State can manage to beat Ohio State, I think they make the playoff. I'll go on a limb and I'll say that I think they do, but I don't think they beat Ohio State. And I think if they lose to Ohio State, I would not be surprised if they drop another game after Ohio State, just because their morale is going to tank so bad.
Correct. Yeah.
Like if they lose to Ohio State, I think that Indiana gets a statement win against Penn State, because I think Penn State's
very possible.
They're going to catch. Well, I think that Indiana would just catch Penn State at the right time. I mean, you'll be catching a team right after a big bumming loss again, and
Correct.
I think that they'll.
We're
Yeah,
also going to see what Indiana's made out of this week too, playing Oregon.
yeah, exactly. And I think that has a lot to. We'll figure out a lot. Like we'll see what they do against Oregon and
Mm-hmm.
make our decision. Because this is
Yep.
Indiana's first. I mean, they had a true test against Iowa. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They're always a good football team, but this is the big one. This is the big one for
Yes,
Indiana.
I agree.
So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see what happens. I think it could I don't know. I think it could shape up a lot better than what Penn State fans currently think it's going to, but
Yes, I agree.
it starts week by week. I mean, they need to just sit back and focus. And
Mm-hmm.
James Franklin needs to. I hope he did, because it's a little too late now if he didn't. But he needed to sit this team down after that UCLA game and go, listen, we still have a shot.
Yes.
Okay, like the season is not trashed yet. I know it looks like it is. You're gonna go on social media. You're gonna see people thrashing us. You're gonna see analysts saying that we're done. But I mean, his job is his job as a head coach is to keep this team fighting and to keep this team with the right end goal in mind. And he failed doing that against UCLA. So
Yeah.
he needs to do a better job against Northwestern and uh ultimately Iowa to
Yep.
get this team back on track, or it's going to spiral out of control pretty quickly. So all right, I think we'll end it there. It's looking like Washington is going to hold on. I mean, Rutgers doesn't have a answer for their Washington's offense. Although Rutgers is currently moving the football, they have the ball on the Washington 29, so they are moving along and they're not going away. So I mean, this game could go either way. I don't think that it's over. It's just now going into the fourth quarter.
Fourth. Yeah.
So I mean, it could yeah, it could go either way for sure. But it's looking like Washington's gonna hang on right now. Detroit and the Seattle Mariners tied 2-2, top of the 12th. So
Damn.
top of the 12th is crazy because whoever wins that game moves on. It's an elimination game.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
yeah, so the top of the 12th is nuts. I don't even know. I don't want to go look at that game.
I don't follow any baseball.
So the Tigers have 2-1, 0 outs. So yeah. But all right. All right. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. We'll probably hop on sometime next week and talk about what happened and then do another pregame show. We're gonna try and do these every Friday or ideally Saturday morning, but just can't do it this Saturday, unfortunately. So yeah. We'll see all you guys in the next one later on.